At 5 a.m., a masked man put a gun to my head and tried to drag me into a dark alley. What happened next still keeps me awake years later. This isn't a ghost story. There were no demons, no monsters, just a man. And honestly, that made it far more terrifying. A few years ago, I was walking to the bus stop early in the morning, around 5 a.m. The sky was still dark, the streets quiet, and the air was thick with that cold mist you only see before sunrise. I remember exactly what I was doing. I was eating a banana and debating something completely stupid in my head, whether I should get Starbucks before work or after my commute. Just normal thoughts. Normal morning, until I reached the corner of my street. There was an alley there. One of those narrow ones that always looks darker than the rest of the road. As I approached it, someone suddenly stepped out. A tall man, wearing a black mask. At first my brain didn't register what was happening. I was still half asleep. Then he raised his arm, and I saw the gun. "Put down your fucking purse." The words snapped my brain awake instantly. The gun was pointed directly at my head. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I immediately said, okay, I'm putting it down." My hands were shaking, my fingers still sticky from the banana I'd been eating seconds earlier. I slowly placed my bag on the ground, trying not to make any sudden movements, trying not to die. The man then said something that made my stomach drop. "Walk over here." He pointed toward the alley. "Get on the ground." Everything inside me screamed that if I went down that alley, something terrible was going to happen. But he had a gun, and my brain was moving a million miles per hour trying to survive. And for some reason, I started talking. A lot. I couldn't stop. "Look, see? I'm on the ground. My bag is right there. You can take it. Please just take it." But that only made him angrier. "Shut the fuck up." He jumped on top of me, the gun pressed against my head. My heart was beating so fast I thought I might pass out. Now, there's something important about this moment. I was dressed for coaching practice. Huge baggy pants, oversized jacket, hat. From a distance, I probably looked like a teenage boy. But when he got close enough, something changed. He looked at my face, and I saw it in his eyes. Realization. He suddenly stood up, then pointed again toward the alley. "Come with me." And in that moment, every survival instinct in my body went insane. Because I knew something. There had been multiple sexual assaults reported in that neighborhood recently. When he pointed toward that dark alley, my brain screamed one thing. You cannot go down there. If you're watching this right now, ask yourself honestly, what would you do in that moment? Comment below. Because what happened next was the only reason I'm still here today. My brain split into two voices. One said, he has a gun. Do what he says. The other said, if you go down that alley, you're not coming back. Then he screamed again. Follow me! So I said something strange. I'm coming. I'm following you. And he believed me. That was his mistake. I took one small step backward, then another toward the sidewalk. And the moment he turned his body and the gun toward the alley entrance, I ran as fast as I could. I tucked my head down in case he started shooting. My legs moved faster than I ever thought possible. I ran and ran and ran. At some point I heard someone screaming. A high-pitched, desperate scream. Then I realized it was me. I didn't stop running for 6 blocks, maybe 7. By the time I reached my apartment building, my lungs were on fire. My hands were shaking. I kept looking behind me, expecting to see him chasing me, but he never appeared. An hour later, the police searched the alley. The man was gone. The only thing they found was my banana peel, still lying on the ground where I dropped it, turning brown. And years later, that moment still stays with me. Not because of what happened, but because of what almost happened. The what-ifs are the part that never really go away. If you enjoy true disturbing stories like this, subscribe and follow for more real horror encounters. Because sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones that actually happened.